Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video I will show you how I crocheted this super cute and very easy bottle sleeve. You need a 3.5mm crochet hook, a 4mm crochet hook and a 2.5mm crochet hook, a tapestry needle, preferably one that's got a large hole as well so you can weave this one through, because it can go over the knot at the end. Something to cut your yarn with. Double knitting yarn. I use red, white, mustard. You can use gold. If you've got gold, that'll be really cool. And black. We are going to start with a 4mm hook. And we are going to make a magic ring. And then we're going to chain one, and we're going to place 10 half double crochets into that magic ring. When you've finished your round, pull on the tail to close the ring, and then slip stitch into the top of the first half double crochet. If you're not sure which one it is, you can count backwards. Round 2, we're going to chain 1 and place 2 half double crochets in each stitch around. That will give you a round of 20 half double crochets for round 2. When you finished your round, slip stitch to the top of the first half double crochet. And then round 3, we're going to chain 1 and place 2 half double crochets into the first stitch, and then 1 half double crochet in the next, 2 half double crochet in the next stitch, 1 half double crochet in the next. Repeat this all the way around for a total of 30 half double crochets for round 3. When you finished your round, slip stitch into the top of the first half double crochet of the round, and then round 4, again chain 1, and we're going to place 2 half double crochets into the first stitch, and then 1 half double crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. So 2 half double crochet in the next, and then 1 half double crochet in the next, and 1 half double crochet in the next. Repeat this all the way around for a total of 40 half double crochets for round 4. When you finished your round, slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet, and now you've got the base like that. Now we are going to chain 2, and we're going to make rounds 6 to 14, and we're going to simply start each round with a chain 2, and we're going to place a double crochet in each stitch around, keeping the total count of 40 in each row, each round. Each round you start with a chain 2 and you finish with a slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet of the round. So that's round 6 to 14 including. When you finished your 14th round, we are going to change to black. So before you finish your stitch, we're going to insert our hook to the top of the first double crochet of the round, and we are going to pull the black through to finish the stitch. Now I like to make a little chain, and I'm going to tie them together, these two ends. Then you can either cut them off or you can sew the tails in. You can do that all at the end. Don't forget your magic ring tail inside as well. So I'm going to cut the red off. And now we are going to do round 15 and 16, same as the previous round. It's 1 double crochet in each stitch around. When you finished round 16, we are going to change back to red. I'm going to cut this off and slip stitch with the red. Now we're going to do rounds 17 to 25, same as this. Each round we're going to start with a chain 2 and then a double crochet in each stitch around. When you get to the end of your round, you slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet and then you start again with a chain 2. When you get to the end of round 25, we are going to slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet of the round. Now round 26 and 27 we are going to increase by 1 stitch. So at the beginning of the round we're going to start with chain 2 and then we are going to place 2 double crochets into the first stitch and then we're going to place 1 double crochet in each stitch around. So we're going to end up with 42 stitches at the end of round 27. So at the end of this round you'll have 41, and then when you get to the end you're going to slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet of the round, and then round 27 you're going to start with chain 2 and then 2 double crochets into the first stitch and then 1 double crochet in each stitch around, and you will end up with 42 double crochets at the end of round 27. I will come back when I finished round 27. When you finish round 27, slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet of the round, and then we are going to do round 28 to 30, same as before, 1 double crochet in each stitch around, chain 2 to start the round, 1 double crochet in each stitch around, and then slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet of the round. So that's round 28 to 30. When you get to the end of round 30, we are going to slip stitch, but we're not going to close the slip stitch, we're going to change to white. I'm going to do the last 2 rounds. And for round 31, we're going to start with chain 1 and we are going to place a half double crochet in each stitch around. When you get to the end of your round, slip stitch into the first half double crochet of the round, and then we are going to do the final round. So we are going to, into the next stitch, we are going to place 5 half double crochets, and then we're going to skip a stitch and we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. We're going to make little shells like this. So into the next stitch we're going to place 5 half double crochets, and then we're going to skip a stitch and then slip stitch into the next. So repeat this all the way around. Five half double crochet in the next stitch, skip a stitch, slip stitch in the next. When you finished your round, you should be able to skip a stitch and slip stitch into the last one, and then I like to slip stitch into the underneath the shell here just to keep the yarn secure, and then pull your yarn through, leave yourself a little sewing tail, and then you can bring that from here to the back to the inside. just going to show you how I sew this tail in, and then you can sew the rest. You can turn it inside out and sew the rest of your tails. Just do each colour onto the matching colour round. So I'm just going to simply take it backwards and forwards under a few stitches. And then cut it off. Don't forget your magic ring tail as well. And that's your sleeve done. Oops. You've got the flat bottom. And then we are going to make the tying string. So take your white, and we're going to use the 2.5mm hook. I'm going to make a slip knot. And then we are going to chain 120. I've got my 120, and the last one, I'm just going to pull the yarn through, leave a short tail, pull it tight to secure it on both ends, and then we are going to take our tapestry needle, not this one, the other end will go through, there we go, like that, and then it's a lot more secure. Now take your sleeve, and we're going to sew this through. If you have a look at the back, you have like a seam of your ends of the rounds. So we're going to sew this through the 25th round. So we're going to count from the bottom, from the base. To be honest, you can sew it in any round that you want. I do it on the 25th round. So have a look where you want your center to be, and then we're just gonna keep it from there. So I'm gonna come from the front, and I'm gonna do it every 4 stitches. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll bring it through. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, take it in, 1, 2, 3, 4, bring it out, and then just do that all the way around. There we go. And once you've put that through, I like to make a little knot at the end just to stop it from coming apart. About there. And then cut the excess off and do the same on the other side. Like so. Okay, so now we're going to make the buckle. We're going to use the 3.5mm hook. I'm going to start with a slip knot, and we're going to chain 20. And then we are going to connect the 2 ends together. Oops. And then we are going to chain 2. I'm going to place a double crochet into this stitch, same one, and then a double crochet into the next stitch. I'm working into 2 of the loops of the chain, and then into the next stitch we are going to place 2 double crochet, chain 2, and then another 2 double crochet. So 1 and 2, chain 2, and then another 2 double crochet. Oops. 2. Now I'm going to leave this backwards, and then we're going to place a half double crochet, a double crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now we're going to make another corner, so we're going to, into the next stitch, we're going to place 2 double crochet, and then chain 2, and then another 2 double crochet into the same stitch, and then we're going to double crochet in 1 in each of the next 2 stitches. That's 1 and 2, and then another corner. That's 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, all in the same stitch. And then we're going to double crochet 1 in each of the next 6 stitches. And into the last stitch we're going to make our last corner. So again, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 double crochet, and then we are going to slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet of the round. Cut yourself a little tail. If you want to sew it onto your bottle sleeve, then leave yourself a longer tail, or you can take a new tail altogether. That's our buckle. So the one that we worked over I'm going to cut off, and this one I'm going to quickly sew on the back. You can use fabric glue, you can sew this on. I personally don't like sewing, so I'm going to use hot glue. I know I'm lazy, but I don't like sewing. And then to attach that, you just do it directly under your space here onto the belt, like so. And then when it's all glued or sewn on, you can take your bottle I hope you enjoyed watching this and it was easy to follow. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.